capitalism. It's the air we breathe, the water we swim in, metaphorically speaking, of course. But what exactly is it? In essence, it's an economic system where private individuals and corporations own and control the means of production. This means factories, land, resources, you name it. The goal? To make a profit, naturally. And how is this profit determined? By the invisible hand of the market, supply and demand. Capitalism is like a bustling marketplace, full of energy, innovation and competition. Imagine a world of vibrant stalls, each vendor shouting about their wares, each customer looking for the best deal. That's capitalism in a nutshell. It's a system that thrives on individual initiative and the pursuit of self-interest. But like any good marketplace, there are rules, both written and unwritten. Governments play a role, setting the stage and ensuring fair play, like referees in a football match. They create regulations, enforce contracts, and provide public goods that benefit everyone, such as roads, education, and healthcare. Capitalism is a bit like a precocious child, full of potential but prone to tantrums. It's a dynamic system that has brought about unprecedented wealth and innovation, but it also has its share of critics who point to its tendency to create inequality and environmental degradation. Over the centuries, capitalism has evolved, adapting to new technologies and global markets. Today, we see it in the rise of tech giants, the gig economy, and the relentless drive for innovation. It's a system that rewards creativity and hard work, but also one that can be unforgiving to those who fall behind. This has led to calls for reform, for a more equitable distribution of wealth, and for sustainable practices that protect our planet. Some argue for a balance where capitalism is tempered by social safety nets and regulations that ensure no one is left behind. Despite its flaws, capitalism has been a driving force behind economic growth and prosperity, lifting millions out of poverty and fostering a culture of innovation. The challenge lies in harnessing its strengths while addressing its weaknesses, creating a system that benefits everyone. As we move forward, the invisible hand of capitalism will continue to shape our world, for better or for worse. The future of capitalism depends on our ability to adapt, innovate, and create a more inclusive and sustainable world. Believe it or not, the roots of capitalism stretch back thousands of years, intertwining with the very fabric of early human societies. Even in ancient civilizations, the seeds of free enterprise were being sown, laying the groundwork for the economic systems we recognize today. Think of the bustling marketplaces of Mesopotamia, where merchants bartered and traded goods, creating a vibrant hub of economic activity. Or the Phoenician traders who sailed the seas, establishing trade routes and connecting distant lands, spreading goods, ideas, and cultures. These early forms of commerce may seem a far cry from the sophisticated financial markets of today, but they shared a fundamental element: the desire for profit and the drive to improve one's circumstances. Individuals, driven by the urge to improve their lot, engaged in trade, offering goods and services that others found valuable, fostering a sense of community and interdependence. Of course, these early forms of capitalism were a far cry from the sophisticated systems we see today, but they were the building blocks of modern economic practices. Governments played a more active role, often controlling prices and regulating trade, ensuring that markets operated within certain boundaries. Religion and tradition also held sway, influencing economic activity and shaping the way trade and commerce were conducted. But the seeds had been planted, and the fundamental principles of capitalism began to take root. The idea of private property, the pursuit of profit, and the power of markets had taken root, setting the stage for future economic development. These concepts would continue to evolve and develop over centuries, eventually blossoming into the complex system we know as capitalism, influencing societies and economies around the world. Today, we see the culmination of these early practices in our global financial markets, stock exchanges, and bustling cities, all driven by the same fundamental principles that guided ancient traders. Technological advancements have further transformed capitalism, introducing digital trading platforms and global connectivity, making markets more accessible and dynamic than ever before. Yet, at its core, capitalism remains rooted in the age-old human desire to trade, innovate, and prosper, a testament to the enduring legacy of those early seeds sown thousands of years ago. Fast forward to the Middle Ages. Feudalism reigned supreme. Lords granted land to vassals in exchange for military service and loyalty. Peasants toiled the land, bound by tradition and obligation. Trade continued, of course, but it was often local and limited. But change was afoot. The Crusades, for all their religious fervor, had the unintended consequence of reviving trade between Europe and the East. New goods and ideas flowed along these revitalized trade routes, sparking a renewed interest in commerce. Enter mercantilism, the economic doctrine that dominated Europe from the 16th to the 18th centuries. Mercantilists believed that a nation's wealth was measured by its stockpiles of gold and silver. To maximize wealth, governments imposed strict controls on trade, promoting exports and limiting imports. Mercantilism, while not exactly a free market system, played a crucial role in laying the groundwork for capitalism. It encouraged the growth of national economies, fostered competition among nations, and spurred innovation in manufacturing and trade. Now let's talk about a chap named Adam Smith, a Scottish economist who's considered the father of modern capitalism. Born in 1723 in Kirkcaldy, Scotland, Smith was a philosopher and a pioneer of political economy. His ideas laid the groundwork for the economic systems we see today. In 1776, he published a rather weighty tome called The Wealth of Nations, which became the capitalist's Bible, so to speak. This monumental work was a comprehensive examination of economics at the time and offered insights that are still relevant today. Smith argued that individuals, in pursuing their own self-interest, are led by an invisible hand to promote the well-being of society as a whole. This concept of the invisible hand suggests that the self-regulating nature of the marketplace leads to economic prosperity. He believed that when individuals are free to pursue their own economic interests, they create a more prosperous society for everyone. This freedom allows for innovation, efficiency, and the optimal allocation of resources. Smith advocated for free markets, limited government intervention, and the division of labor. He saw the division of labor as a key factor in increasing productivity and economic growth. He believed that competition and innovation were essential for economic growth and progress. By encouraging competition, markets could drive innovation and technological advancements, leading to better products and services. His ideas were revolutionary, to say the least, and they had a profound impact on the development of capitalism. The principles he laid out in The Wealth of Nations influenced economic policies and practices for centuries to come. Imagine a world where the government dictated every aspect of the economy, from what you could produce to how much you could charge. Such a system would be rigid and stifling, leaving little room for innovation or individual initiative. Smith argued that such a system stifled innovation and hindered progress. He believed that individuals should have the freedom to pursue their own economic goals without excessive government interference. He believed in the power of the free market to allocate resources efficiently and create wealth. By allowing market forces to operate freely, resources could be directed to their most productive uses, leading to overall economic growth and prosperity. Today, Adam Smith's ideas continue to influence economic thought and policy. His vision of a self-regulating market remains a cornerstone of modern economic theory, demonstrating the enduring legacy of his work.